Today we're going to make a very simple rock, paper, scissors game in Python. So first we've got our options. Let's just make that into a list. And it'll be rock, paper, and scissors. Now we got to make a function that takes in what the player decides on and what the AI decides on, and then depending on if it's rock, paper, or scissors, who wins. So let's make a function called winner, and let's take in player. Let's take in AI. So this could be rock, and this could be scissors, for example. Now, if they're both the same, then that means that they both chose the same things. Like if it was rock and rock, then it's just going to be a tie. So we just return it was a tie. Now, if it's not that, we want to have some sort of way to detect what beats what. So let's have a winner array. And this array will have a whole bunch of different values, but we only need actually 3 for detecting who wins. So the first one can be the one that wins, and the second one can be the one that loses. So for example, rock wins against scissors. So we say rock first, and then we say scissors. So that's the first little pair of win or lose. And we just do this for all the combinations. So we've got paper for winning against rock. And then we've got scissors, and it wins against paper. All right, so we've got our little winner array here, and it just has all the different things we're going to need to know who wins against who. Now we can go through each one of these items. For winner in, or for win, because we don't want to reuse the function name, in winner array. So we basically just loop through all of these. And what we're going to do is we say if player is equal to, let's say, win1, or win0, I mean, because 0 accesses the first thing, and 1 accesses the second. So if we had player here, and player was equal to rock, then if the AI was equal to scissors, then we know that the AI has lost against the player. But if it's the opposite, where actually the AI has rock and the player has scissors, then we know that the AI won. So in this case, we'll return player wins. And in this case, we'll return AI wins. And since this is looping through all of these different examples, first it'll do this, then it'll do this, and then it'll do this. And it'll go through all the possible combinations of what the AI or player could have. You could do this with a dictionary as well, but I'm using this example because it's really easy to read. Now, if none of these happened, then something weird happened. So let's say return incorrect input. So something really wrong. Maybe the player put in like something really weird. So we're going to need something to show that they didn't do the right input. Nothing happened here. Now we need to take a function that will decide what is the player choosing here. So player input, and we're just going to say print choose between. And then for all the different choices here, all our options, for option in options, we say print. And maybe we want to be a little bit fancy here. We can use this, and we can say option. Cool. So just have like a little checklist of all the options. And I'm just going to print a little print thing here, just so that there's an extra line. And then we can say input, and we can say IMP equals input. So whatever the player puts in, that'll be what they put here. Player choice. And then we'll return IMP. Perfect. And now if we've got our player input, maybe we want to have our AI input. But an AI is just going to choose a random one of these options. So let's actually import random so we can actually do that. So random, and we'll just import random. Awesome. So we've got random, and now we just say choice or IMP equals random dot, and choice is a default random function that chooses a random choice out of an array. And since our array is these three options, we can just put that in here, and it'll give us one of the options. So we just return IMP, and that's all there is to it. And now we just need one game function that calls all of these functions in the correct order so that we can have a little game. So let's call this game. And just before I forget, I'm actually going to call game at the bottom here. And I'll say while true. So this game will just play forever. We're playing rock, paper, scissors with our AI till the end of time. So we've got this game. First, we're going to take in our player input. So player equals player input. And then we're going to take in our AI input. So AI equals AI input. And then we will call the winner from the player and the AI. So winner, player, AI. And now, while true, we'll just play the game. So let's see what happens if we press F5 to run it. And Python file. Boom. Choose between rock, paper, or scissors. I'll choose rock, for example. And now we don't know who won here because we never actually say it. We just have this winner here. So what if we want to actually show who won? First, let's print what the AI did. And we'll just say AI here. So AI input was this, and we already are printing what the player choice was here. Then after we decide on the winner, we will print this, and we already have it returning the right thing. We have it returning either it was a tie, or player wins, or AI wins. So that'll actually print correctly. So let's press F5. Choice between rock, paper, scissors. I'll choose rock. Player wins because AI chose scissors. Awesome. We could play this till the end of time doing whatever we wanted. Scissors, paper, player wins because scissors against paper, scissors wins. Now you understand the logic for how to make a simple rock, paper, scissors game in Python. Thanks for watching.